speaking about the foundation.
Definitely.
Whether or not we like it, it would seem that the foundation has been built upon, and we have a structure already. Faulty or not, we can try to repair it.
We'll fortify it.
Exactly, fortify it. But we already have a structure in it.
That's right.
Where exactly are we in that structure? Because it would seem that at some point electricity supply improved to the consumer's home, because that's where they are all bothered about. What is happening in the homes and the industries right now? What can you see explains it was in the current lack of power supply?
We are still taking one step forward, two backwards. That's where we are. But I want to admit the current commission under Dr. Amadi has been very proactive, extremely proactive, and I must give it to him. Somebody is ready to do anything to make it work, but he can't do it alone. There are a lot of factors, a lot of forces. Beyond NERC, we have MBET, a General Bulk Electricity Trading Company. That mechanism is there as a kind of stopgap. The assumption is that once you have a bulk trader, whatever, you're going to give a kind of assurance to investors that whatever amount of megawatt generated is bought and sold in advance. Just generate. You get your money. That's the basis for calculating that. So the incentive is to encourage private sector to generate. Whether or not somebody is buying, it gets mopped up and somebody pays. That is the role of MBET, Nigeria Bulk Electric Trading Company.
Because somebody must buy when you generate.
So if you generate and you're not sure you have already a buyer, that's not a good incentive for you. So you're going to lose money, and power is not cheap. So that one is there. And recently, the Johnson administration, there was a kind of power sector intervention fund, good billions disbursed to the private entities by way of loan for them to be able to generate and transmit. We need to take, that should be the starting point for the new administration. We need to make sure those funds are well utilized and actually channeled towards the ultimate end of generation and distribution. Secondly, we need to get state government now to really do some of these things. At least.
What can they do in this circumstance? Captive,
they can do captive, they can do embedded. They can do renewables. In spite of
the privatized ones already?
No, these privatized ones are at the level of federal government. Lagos State government should start to attract its own investors and say Lagos State government should start by having its own framework in place. They should have a well-designed, carefully structured energy or electricity policy, subsequently a law. Then they have a commission or agency that will regulate that. They call private concern to come and generate 5 megawatts for Apapa, off-grid, captive, embedded, gas, hydro, renewable, biomass. Lagos State should have this decentralized energy generation, something they call disaggregated, off-grid.
So with this
once it's off-grid, strictly within the confines of what the government could do.
Can we get, say, between 20 or 40,000 megawatts in 4 years with this method if we adopt this as well?
Actually, we should get more than that. The Lagos State government is already doing, I think, about 6 to 10 it's oscillate because we have part of the island strictly under IPPs. We need to have more of that. That's what what I mentioned, decentralized energy option. There's no point generating power from the top. State government, local government should generate.
But that means they have to also develop the distribution capacity as well.
Because
simultaneously
they have that. That is what the law asks them to do in respect of areas not covered by the national grid within their state. They should go and check the law and call if we are
exactly. I think that you've hit the nail on the head.
They should go check the law.
In terms of the areas not covered by the national
That's
grid.
what the law says.
If, for instance, now we're dealing with a state like Lagos, where most parts have been covered by the national grid, if not all the parts, and you say local governments generate your electricity, the question is, how then do they distribute? Are they going to be using the same wires and poles and everything that the national grid has already put in place?
See, we can. That's why I said there's increasing development in electricity technologies. We don't even need the grid is even weak. I need to say that the national grid is weak.
We've heard that several times.
Power was first generated in 1896 in Ijora here.
Wow.
1896. and we're still close to where we were hundreds of years ago. Then, until we had this Niger Dam Authority and FCC Corporation of Nigeria, ECN, and being merged 1st of April 1972 to form NEPA.
But let's not deviate. The question
So
is,
I'm talking about where we were. We haven't still really
Yeah.
departed from the old structure.
Yeah.
So now, we need not go the old disused grid, which is weak, which is inadequate. We need to do a lot of off-grid and concession grid. There's no point having, because even this grid was developed in Lagos.
So what you're seeing is that it's a situation where if local governments or state governments are able to generate, they will have to get concession from the national grid to be able to use certain parts of existing infrastructure.
Let me even say
Is that what you're
this.
saying?
Let me say this. If you generate less than 1 megawatt, you don't even need license from anybody. So, a local government could generate 1 megawatt here through biomass, dump site, because we have a lot of that in Lagos. You can generate 1 megawatt here through solar, 1 megawatt there, decentralized.
That is generation.
That's the
How
thing.
do they distribute?
They distribute to end users.
Through which means?
That is another issue, because there are ways of distributing without going through the national grid. That is, those are the technologies.
Perhaps
you
I'm
know,
getting this a little
alright.
mixed up.
No, it's
Okay.
not.
No, you are talking of distribution.
Yeah,
for-
because there are three phases now.
Yes, generation, transmission,
Yeah.
and distribution.
Yeah.
So what she's saying now, if you generate for this purpose, you don't need to transmit anywhere. You generate here and use it here. Right? What we are saying is, if you generate captive for decentralized areas, rural areas, you don't need to transmit. You just connect.
What we're saying is, you still have to work out your own distribution
Arrangement, yes, without
or can you make use of existing, for instance, the wires and poles and transformers
Under
already
what
existing?
No,
Can they be used
if you
by that individual?
if you must distribute via the national grid, you may not need to set up your own distribution infrastructure.
Right.
If you don't need to do that, you have to put your own in place. As again, setting poles from one end to the other, you can just do it within your community, which is cheaper.